Hey y'all, what's up? So I had my baby and she was born on December 12th, which was a bittersweet day for me. That was also would have been my father's birthday. So that date has a lot more meaning to me. I'm going to be looking over there because she is asleep over there. So she probably will be arising because she doesn't sleep very long. And I'm breastfeeding. So, all right. So on the 11th, it was probably about 9 o'clock. Um, I had uh, contractions, and they weren't very intense, and they weren't close together. They were like probably about 30 to 45 minutes apart. So I was like, no, I'm not going to the hospital. I've been in false labor before, and you get all excited, all prepared to go, and they end up sending you home. And I usually carry my babies over the due date, so I wasn't due until the 15th, and I'm pretty sure about the accuracy of that date. And I was like, I'm gonna just wait. So as time went on, probably about 10 o'clock, it got to be like 30 minutes apart, and then but they weren't intensifying in like pain. It was just more consistent. And then it started to be like 5 to 10 minutes apart, but still just like moderate contractions, nothing serious. So I went to pee and it kept it wouldn't stop. So I didn't think it was my water bag or anything. I thought because my water bag has never burst. I thought it was just the pressure of the baby on my bladder that was just making it come out more. So I was sitting there, and every time I would get up and move, I would have a contraction. But just sitting down, it would nothing. I wouldn't feel it. So I was like, "Nah, I'm probably in false labor." So I didn't worry about it, but my family was like, "You need to go," especially my mother and my daughter. And my daughter is my 11-year-old is what made me go because she was about to cry and she was getting all mad. So I was like, "Well, let me go." So we get up, pack up in the car, get all our stuff together, get to the hospital probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and check in. They get me upstairs to labor and delivery, and they check me in. It's all these student doctors, which I hate, but they don't call your real doctor until they know that they're about to deliver the baby. So these student doctors came. This girl, I thought probably this woman was probably like 17, and I guess that's my age showing because the doctors are just graduating college, and I'm older, so it's like they 20 something and they look really young. I'm like, oh my God. So she checks me, and I'm telling you, it hurts so bad. And my doctor, when she does it, it's uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt. And this woman hurt, and it must be like their technique or whatever. And she was like, I can't really tell how far she's dilated. So the nurse checked me, and it hurt so bad. Like she stood at the head of the bed and stuck her hand down up inside me to check me, which, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell y'all everything in this video. So if you sensitive or whatever, then I'm just letting you know. So she was like that, and I'm like, damn. And I said, you fucking hurting me. And it just came out like when I'm mad or like I sometimes I can't control like what comes out, and that shit, I mean, it hurt. It felt like she was about to stick her finger in um my urethra, and not like it looked like it felt like she was about to stick her finger in my urethra, and trying to check my cervix too. Like it was so painful. Like I I never felt that pain, and I've had two children, and I never was checked like that before. So looking at her. So she was they did that, and she was like, oh, she's just 1 centimeter dilated. So she was like, yeah, you probably go home. And my family was in the weight room, so she was like, you need to tell your family to go ahead on home because we probably just monitor you for like 2 more hours so they can go home and get some sleep because I think they'll let you go. And I was like, all right, So I kept looking at the monitor, and they put this baby monitor like on your stomach to monitor the baby's heart rate. And my daughter has never liked my baby daughter has never liked anything like around my stomach. So she would kick it. Like even when we would go and get the the ultrasounds or the what is it when you go to the doctor's office? They would put the thing on your stomach to listen to the heartbeat. She would kick that. Or if I would put my hand on my stomach for too long, she would kick it. So I thought maybe by her kicking it was affecting the monitor because I would see her heart rate go from like 160 to 140 to 120 sometimes. And I was like, well, what's up with that? But I thought it was her. So then the nurse came back and she said, well, no, the doctor came back and she was like, well, your baby's heart rate is dropping. So we're going to keep you a little while longer. You probably won't go home till probably about 4 or something, but we just want to monitor that. And they gave me some oxygen to see if it would improve. And then my pressure was like a little elevated. So I'm like, okay. And I was so mentally prepared to deliver naturally as possible with no medication. So I'm like, all right, whatever, whatever has to be done has to be done. So I'm like, well, I'm about to go home, so forget it. So I called my family, like, look, y'all don't have to come. They probably send me home, but they just monitoring me right now. So a couple of minutes passed, probably about 30 minutes. I didn't want to go to sleep because I knew once I fell asleep, they was going to wake me up. So sat there, watched some TV, put a video on Instagram, I think. And I was like just waiting it out. So then they came back and it was a whole group of them, and then a doctor with a white jacket. So I was like, oh, some serious shit going on. And it was one of the serious doctors. And it really is like on Grey's Anatomy when the residents are like all in one color and the doctor is in a white coat and they're all nice and stuff. But the doctor is converted or whatever. You know how they go through the change, like the crossover. You know how little children are all innocent and stuff like that. But once they reach probably about 13, 14, they become like they lose their innocence. That's kind of like how doctors and residents are. So this was one of the doctors, you can tell. And this old stern Asian lady, and she was like, yeah, so, and they're so frank with you, which I understand because they can't really show emotion and all that, but it's like they show no concern. It's like very stoic. So she was like, yeah, so we're going to have to do an emergency C-section. I think that's the best thing. We're just waiting on a response from your doctor to see if she agrees with it because I don't think you or your baby are going to be able to tolerate a natural delivery or a vaginal delivery. And I was like, shit, that was quick. And she was like, yeah, your baby's heart rate dropped a lot. And I'm like, what the fuck? So at this time, I'm like in disbelief and panic. And I wanted to talk to my doctor because we have a very close relationship. And I was like, I wanted to hear her voice, kind of like to be like, is it okay? Because if you ask one of the doctors there if it's okay, they're going to give you like their general statement, but, my doctor, we're more personal. So I just wanted to talk to her. So I was like, well, have you called my doctor? And they were like, yeah, well, we called her. We're just waiting for her to call back. And I, like when my son, my doctor, she died like right before my delivery, unexpectedly. Then for my daughter, she was due on Katrina, on the date of Katrina. And we had to leave. And I carried her over the due date. And I had her in Texas by a different doctor. So I was like really adamant and really concerned, and I needed my doctor to be there. So they were like, well, yeah, we just wait for her to call. So we sat there probably about 15 minutes, and then I was like, well, should I call my family? And they weren't really sure. So Then they came back and they were like, yeah. I said, well, how long do I have? And they said 20 minutes. We have to go now. I'm like, oh my God. So my heart is racing. I call my family. I'm like, y'all gotta hurry up. So we get to the delivery, the little OR or whatever. Wait, hold on. Let me see something. I'm gonna cover this up because what I got on. Okay, she good. So we get to the OR. They put me on the table, and they were like, relax your shoulders and put your back out. So I'm sitting on the edge of the table, and the anesthesiologist came. Before we went in there, he was like asking me about allergies and stuff like that to medications. And and he was real nice too. And he was like, well, push your back out, relax your shoulders. And the nurse was holding my hand. And the insertion of the needle is what hurts for epidural, but and then when the medication is being administered, you can kind of feel it, but it starts because it numbs you like immediately. So I was like, oh Lord, I'm getting this shit again, but it's not painful. Like you can feel it going through, but it's not painful to me. I know a lot of women complain about the pain from it, but I never really experienced a bad epidural, and I had it now with all three of my pregnancies. So got that, they laid me down. They put this big blue sheet like from like my breast to it was like hold up y'all, I might have to stop pause. I think she's just stirring around. So they put the little blue sheet from my breast so I couldn't see anything. And I can hear them. And my doctor, she did make it there. I was like, is she here? And she was like, yes, Stacey, I'm here. And she was like, I was just nervous, but I was trying not to be nervous because I didn't want my pressure to go up. I didn't want to put stress on the baby. So I'm like, okay, like let's just get through this. So I can feel them like tugging around, like pressure, but no pain. But you can kind of like feel what they're doing, and just a whole lot of movement and stuff. And it smelled like something was burning. So I don't know if they used like a laser on me. Yeah, I did not look at the cut yet. I haven't even looked, but it's like everybody said, oh, it just looked like a little line, like somebody. My daughter said it looks like somebody drew a pen, like drew on me with the pen. So I smelled something burning. So I'm like, are they burning my skin? So I hear them, they take the baby out, and they're like, there she is. And I can hear them talking, and my doctor was like, oh, she got some chubby cheeks. So I was just like, oh, I want to see her. And they were taking like a long time, but I can hear her crying. I'm like, is everything okay? But I guess they were putting me back together and then cleaning her off. Well, I don't even think they clean them off too much. But whatever they were doing, checking her vitals and stuff, it was taking a long time. And then everything kind of got quiet for a second, or maybe I blacked out. But I was sedated. I wasn't asleep. So I was aware of what's going on. But I can tell I was kind of like, you know how they give you like this, when you go to the dentist, they don't put you all the way under, but you're kind of like awake, but hazy. That's kind of how it was. So I'm like, is everything okay? And, everybody's telling me like, it's fine. They they put it on me, do the skin to skin contact. And I look at her and I'm like, oh, and she looks like my dad. So, and it's funny because, well, it's not funny, but my daughter was born. My dad passed on, because of Katrina. And this daughter was born on my dad's birthday. So, but, they put it on me or whatever. Then they took me out of that to recovery. So we get to recovery, and I mean, it was fast. It was like 10 to 15 minutes, the whole C-section thing. So I was like, damn, that was easy. So, I'm still like numb as hell. Like you can't feel shit. Like the doctor before they started the C-section, she put this thing and she kind of like did like that to my legs to make sure I couldn't feel it. It was like something short and I couldn't feel it. And then she put it like up here and I could feel it. So, that was like an indication that I was really numb. So, we get up to recovery. My family's in the room. They bring the baby and um everything was just like normal from there. They took our vital signs and she was like, well, when you are able to lift your bottom and lift your legs up, you can move. We can move you to a room. But I'm not going to do that because I have to have you scoot. And it's funny because you can, your brain knows to move your legs, but it's like to not be able to feel it is like funny. So when I was able to do that, they moved me into the room, brought the baby, and it's this new thing at hospitals. I don't know if it's everywhere, but out here, I know it's at every hospital. It's called like Healthy Baby, and they do not take the babies away. Like back in the day when I had my daughter and my son, when you go to sleep, they would take the babies. Like for my son, I actually had to call for him because they kept him in the nursery a long time. But especially when you sleep, they would keep the babies in the nursery. But now the babies stay with you like the whole time, and they encourage skin to skin contact and breastfeeding. But you don't have to breastfeed, but they encourage it. So they come in there and it was like, what you gonna do, breast bottle, whatever. I was like, breastfeeding. They were like, good, you need to do skin to skin contact. So they just threw the baby naked on me. Well, she had a pamper on, but they put it on me. And then, the lactation nurses came immediately. The nurses to show you how to breastfeed, and they were like within an hour. Within an hour of delivery, they want you to start breastfeeding the baby. So, they was on it like. This lady came and she just like took my breast and like put it in the baby's mouth and was showing me how to do it. And it was just like boom, 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 like quick. And it's so different now because it really was like for being a first time mother again, because how much everything had changed. And then I was breastfeeding, which I did with my daughter, but only for a week. And they didn't have as much support as they do now. I may do a video about my hospital experience, which was, for the most, I could say it was like 90% positive, but they have like a lot of support, a lot of resources if you want to go ahead and breastfeed. But I kind of gave up after I left the hospital with my daughter because I was just not emotionally prepared. And I didn't know, but I didn't know what to expect. And with this, I've been like really prepared for this baby. So I had a nurse for me, a nurse for the baby, a lactation nurse, a CNA or a nurse assistant for me. The doctors came in, my doctor, the baby's doctor, who else? Dietary, like all these people came. It was like constant in and out, which was aggravating at times. What else, y'all? Let's see. Yeah, so she was 6 pounds, 12 ounces, which was, and I'm going to try to insert a picture of her. I have pictures on my Instagram, and I don't like putting pictures too much on YouTube, but if I don't remember, you can see her on my Instagram. It's Naturally Nola. Yeah, Naturally Nola. I tell you, I forget on Instagram, but yeah, she was 6 pounds, 12 ounces, which is the smallest baby I ever had. My children are usually big. Like my son was like 8 pounds, 12 ounces. I think my daughter was like 8 pounds, 9 ounces, something like that. But never a 6 pound, 12 ounce baby. She's so tiny. Couldn't fit in none of her clothes. So my mom actually went to the store before we came home so she can have something to go home with, because I had like this little outfit and it just slid right off of her. So we had to buy all newborn stuff. Like usually we buy like 0 to 3 months. So that shows you how different my children are. Um, what else? I told y'all she was born on my dad's birthday. And yeah, so I got me a Sagittarius baby. Now I have like every element. My oldest daughter is Earth. My son is air. He's a Gemini. My daughter's a Virgo, Sagittarius, and I'm a Cancer. So we got every element up in the house. So yeah, so that was about it. I don't know what else, and I'm trying to hurry up before she wakes up. But definitely when I woke up, I mean when the pain medication wore off, I was in pain. I started to feel it, and they gave me some Vicodin or whatever. I couldn't take Percocet because of I have a reaction to that. But I had one, so they didn't want to risk it. I had one back in the day, but they had the baby. I mean, what I'm saying, they had me with the medication, and I was like, oh Lord, now I thought this was easy, and I had to stay in bed, and I was so numb, and they put these little compression tights on me to make sure I didn't have any blood clots, and my feet got so swollen. But I mean, that incision is some pain to deal with, and it's kind of like hard to move around, and you're afraid to cough. I mean, my doctor was like, don't worry about popping your incision. A lot of people were concerned about that, but you can only do that if you're lifting something heavy or doing something really strenuous, because I got sutures and not staples. So, I mean, it feels so funny. Like when you walking, it's like it feels like half of your stomach is on one side and half of it is just hanging or something. And my belly did not go down immediately. I still look pregnant after I had, but it's going down now. So I'm like a week postpartum. So I had it's going down now because of, I think more so because of the breastfeeding, but it's not all the way down yet. So I did feel immediate relief once they took her out. I mean, this pregnancy did take a toll on me, I think because of all the other stuff that was happening, but I was just so tired and just tired all the time towards the end. And I feel like, I can move. I feel freer. Once you get to the end of the pregnancy, it's like everything is just all close together. You gain this weight, and this baby is moving around in you. So my baby is here. She is perfect. I just look at her and I can't believe it. I didn't think that I would be having another baby. I knew I wanted another one, but I didn't know that this time last year I would be having a baby right now. And it's just an amazing, a beautiful experience. And it's like every moment, I'm like enjoying her little face and how she smells and stuff. And thank y'all for all the love and support on Instagram. Leah for staying in touch with me throughout my delivery. Leah is experienced on here. I was texting her throughout in and out of consciousness and everything. I probably text her some crazy shit too, but she is always so supportive. I love you, Leah. She's always so supportive of me, and she's a good friend. I thank y'all for all the love and everything, Instagram, Twitter, on here. And yeah, I'm gonna share her with y'all. So that is my labor and delivery story. Don't want to start rambling. I might do this hospital stuff, and yeah. So I will talk to y'all a little bit later. Looks like little mama is about to get up. So I love y'all. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I should have took some notes. Oh, oh yeah, skin is not changing yet. The pregnancy messed up. They say little girls steal your beauty. They're like, well, my son, but of course I was way younger, but I didn't have any skin issues. And I didn't even show. Like, only thing, my breasts got huge, and that was it. But as soon as I had him, I was down back to my regular weight, like probably within a week or two. But of course, I was younger, and but they say boys give you beauty, and the girls, they steal it because they need it for themselves. Them old wives' tales. But skin hasn't returned back to what it was, but I feel, like I can breathe again. Um, I do miss kind of like the pregnancy feeling. It's like amazing to be a woman and know that your body can do something so magnificent to bring a life into this world. It's like I'm glad to deliver a baby at this point in my life because I can honor I'm gonna get deep, the whole spiritual essence of carrying the baby and connecting with the child um, or whatever, connecting with the child. Um, it's just, I can appreciate it a lot more, versus my younger self. But I did appreciate it then, but now it's different since I'm, an older gal. So I hope I didn't miss anything. And told y'all about the weight, told y'all about the skin. Yeah, this breastfeeding thing, I'm always busy, and I know I need to be sleeping when she's sleeping, but I have a lot to do, and she doesn't sleep that long. So anyway, y'all, I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for sticking by. If you stuck through me talking, I'll probably come back and do a hospital experience video. So love y'all. Take care. Bye.